G'day everyone, welcome to my channel. We are going to continue on with the Seamstress junk journal that we are doing as part of the design team with Scrimpingmommy, Amanda. Now, I've done a few things since the last time. Last time we put our signatures together, so we just worked out a way to add our signatures together. Now, I've gone and done some things off screen simply because me sewing in general is never pretty, and me sewing on camera means recipe for disaster. So what I've gone and done is I have added an outside covering. Okay, so just vintage quilting material to the outside. Okay, some vintage cotton. And then I have sewn that in. Okay, and then I have attached inside was a kind of large placematty thing I scored at the thrift shops, and I've just made it fit so it fits perfectly lengthwise, and then I just folded it up and doubled it over to make a little pocket. And I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with this flap, so I didn't sew this part down, so this might end up being like a hidden tuck spot or a little hidden pocket to the side. We will decide that as we decorate. So I've added them, and then I used the guidelines that we'd made on the file folder, and I sewed stripes down the side. Okay, so the guidelines down the side, so I knew where I was going when I'm sewing in my signatures. So hopefully you can see that I've got them running down the side. And now all that's left is I've gone in and done the majority, and I do the last lot with you. So I've gone through and put in the majority of the envelopes as well as the file folder inserts. So they've been sewn in, and you can see here now that we're starting to get that waterfall effect, so that flow down like that, and it's the envelopes that are the ones that are visible first and foremost, which continues with that waterfall effect, which is what I was after. Okay, so the next part in this is the file folder, but before we get to the file folder, I actually want to put in the envelopes, so I've got a bit of a guide as to where to place them, because I've added some pins just along the sewing lines, which are 1/2 inch apart, which means I know that when I come in with my envelopes that we've doubled up, that I can place that in between, and I've got them centered, which means I know where I'm putting my file folder next. So I'm going to get some fabric glue. I'm just going to run that along the center. This is just to hold it in place until we sew in, so it doesn't need to be like perfect. It's just to tack it down until the signatures are sewn in, because the signatures being sewn in will hold this in place as well. And we're going to come along and line it up with that one. Make sure it lines up with our envelopes here. Looking good. That one's looking good there. Okay. Looking fairly good there. Alright, so I'm just going to press down, making sure that adheres. And then I can come back here and just remove these pins so I can get it flatter. Alright, so we've now got that in place there, which means that I can come in and add extra bits now. I still haven't decided what I'm going to do with these envelopes, so what I've done to prep the envelopes is I've just sewn around the front, so I've just sewn a square there just for decoration, so you can see it in here, and I still haven't glued them down, and I still haven't done anything with the flap, because I'm still, you know, haven't decided what I'm going to do, if I'm going to add some extra flappy bits, what. So I'm like, well, they can just hang there like that until the decision is made. Alright, so we've got the file folder insert there. I've got a vintage doily that I've added around the edge just for a little bit of extra something, you know. And what we're going to do is be super fiddly, I'm just going to hold this in place with some clips. That doesn't move around on me as we're doing this. Just make life a little bit easier for ourselves. Alright. Okay. So now I'm going to come in and place our file folder in the center. Okay. First thing I'm going to do, take those clips off because I want to glue the doily to the file folder along that seam there, that flat edge. Kind of go. Just pushing that on there for now, just so that it's there. And then I'm going to run a little bit more glue down the centre here. And put some clips back in place just so it's not flapping about. Flappy flap. Right, I'm going to come in and I'm going to place this where it needs to be. Put it into the centre here. Just pushing down to allow for connection. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Okay. Good. Alright. So we've got that. So now we're going to sew this sucker in. So how are we going to do that? I have made a template of where I want the holes to be. So I'm going to do a 5-hole pamphlet, and I'm going to line that up. And just for now, I'm just going to add a little dot there as a guideline, and I'm going to use that guideline, but I'm going to poke in the centre. It's just more there for me to see where I should, around about where I should be going. So I'm just going through there, going through there, through there, there, and there. Okay, so we got them. Let's get some wax thread. About 2.5, 3 times. I'd rather more than not enough. So I've got lots of dangly bits down here. That's okay, we'll deal with that later, whether add some buttons or something to it. Haven't decided yet. Alright, so we're going to come in this way. If you want, just to ensure that this doesn't go anywhere, you can always take a clip and clip that little end there, and it allows for you to know that you're not going to pull it all the way through. Then we're going to come in through the next one, like so, out through this one, back through this one, out through that one, so missing the middle hole, going out that one, in through this one, through that one, and then we're going to come back through this middle hole. And when we come back through, we want to come back through on the opposite side of this thread. So this one's coming out to the right, so I want this one to come out to the left. So coming out like that. Now I just want to make sure they're nice and tight. Just checking out on the back that they're nice and tight as well. And they are. And then I can tie them off. And there it be done. Okay. So we've now got our insert there. And all we have left are our signatures to go into this front section. So we're going to repeat the same kind of steps. I've added some paper doilies to some of the signatures, just for, because I've forgotten, to be honest. When I was putting them together, I was like, oh, that's right, I was going to add some doilies. So I'm just going to go in and fold in the extra bits. So they're not in our way. Okay. Got that all folded in. Doily. We're going to find our centre. Make sure everything's nicely together. To come in and clip these together so they don't move about on us. And then we're going to use that template again. So coming in and centering that in there, into that, and then I'm going to use my poker tool and I'm just going to fold it over and push through. This allows it to go through straight. Go through like that. Okay, move our template and then get some thread. Where did I put the thread? There it is. Threading the needle. Now, for this one, same thing, I'm just going to come in and add these points along here, okay, just as a guide on the center component. Right. Right, just so I know where they are, and then I'm going to use that to mark 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, about 1/4 of an inch apart. Like so. Okay, so if you can see those dots, they're like that. Okay. I'm going to use my poker tool and poke these in. Like so. Yeah, so now we've got them poked in. And we can come along with our signature. And we're going to repeat the same kind of stitching that we did through. Clip that out to the edge. You can see what's happened. It's a bit bulky now, so coming out through that one. Through this one. Through that one. Yeah, listen, I don't profess to be any kind of sewer, so there's probably 1,000 other tutorials that show this much more eloquently than I do, but you know, it is what it is. This is real, gets the job done. That one over to the top. And out. Like something seemed a bit shorty short. You go away. Go away. Don't want you. There we go. Okay. Find the hole. Easier said than done. There it is. Let's go for there. Okay. Go through that one. I do like using 5-hole in bigger journals, because I just like that extra security of holding in all of the weight. I don't know where I've gone here. Alright, coming back out. Alright, good. Out through that one. And then back up through the middle. And to the left. Alright. So now it's just a matter of tightening up stitches as they need to be. Okay. This one doesn't want to tighten. There we go. See, I've gone, this occasionally happens where you might have looped or accidentally sewn through the other thread, which makes tightening difficult. Can I do this. I can. Alright. Should have that nice and tight now. And where I cut the wax thread is fine because it's not in the part of the structure. It's just part of the extra bit out on the edge, so I'm not too worried about having cut that. Tying a knot would be good. 1, 2, alright. So we've got that one. I'm going to not put you through watching me do this one, and then I'll finish that off, and then I'll come back and show you where we're at. Maybe. I'll try. Okay, so we're back. I have sewn in the last signature. Kind of glad I didn't do it on camera because, you know, there's always one that you sew in upside down. This was the one. Luckily, it was only, I realised only once I'd done one way through. So at least it wasn't all the way through and then had to cut the thread and blah, 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 as I've done many, many times. Okay, so we've got now our waterfall and it's sitting like this. And we're going to look at extra decorations and what we're going to add to this to then bring it up to be like really quite feminine and shabby. But the base is now done. So as we go through, we've got an envelope cover, then we've got 2 signatures, still waiting to have ephemera and all that kind of stuff added. So it goes through. Then we've got envelope back of that signature. Then we go into our file folder section, okay, which has got a little pocket there. We've done that there and there. Another envelope, and then continues through. So another couple of signatures all the way through, and then to the next envelope, into the file folder. So just the pattern continues to repeat as we go through. Yeah, so that is all there, and we're getting there. We are getting there. Doesn't feel like it, but we are definitely getting there. And as is always the way with my journals, she's chunky, and she's going to get chunkier, but she will now kind of sit like that. Okay, and we've got that waterfall effect going down the side. So that is the look of her pile of letters. Okay, so that's kind of the look that I was going for. And it will continue to get more shabby and so forth as we go through, and add some additions that, you know, add more of that and, you know, lace and embroidery and buttons and all of those things that align with the fact that we're looking at a Victorian seamstress's journal. Okay, well, I'm going to go now. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it very, very much. If you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, all that good jazz. It helps me out heaps and I appreciate it. And I'm going to say goodbye. So as always, remember, be kind, be strong, be aware, and I'll see you later. Bye.